Hello everyone, we are a group of students from IES Jandía and we are part of the project of Erasmus. And I'm going to start giving a small introduction. After that, my other friends are going to continue with the presentation. The main cause of the global warming is due to the greenhouse gases. The greenhouse gases are very important to develop life in the earth, because thanks to them, our average global temperature is of 15 degrees Celsius. And if we wouldn't have those gases, the global temperature would have fallen to minus 18 degrees Celsius. And the most in our atmosphere, we have three types of gases: methane, water vapor, and carbon dioxide. There are the most amount of gases that we have in our atmosphere, and then there are many more. So that was a small introduction. So you guys have a few QR codes on this one. So please, the first line, can someone scan a QR code and ask the question?
What are the causes? Is this one? What are the causes of the increase in the greenhouse effect?
Yes, that one.
Some of the causes are volcanic eruptions and the breeding of living beings that could be considered as natural causes. But human activities also could contribute to the climate change by causing change in the amounts of the greenhouse gases, which are trapping heat and warming the planet.
Okay, the second question, does number 2, QR code number 2, it's written in the code.
Is that number 2? Yes.
Can someone read the question aloud?
What are the best non-greenhouse gases?
The best non-greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. And the proportion in the atmosphere has increased significantly since the beginning of the last century due to the various mainly sources.
So now we're going to continue with question number 3. Can someone scan the third QR code?
Which one is the most important?
Carbon dioxide is the most important greenhouse gas since it is the most prominent. It is emitted by the combustion of fossil fuels in industrial processes and cement production. The second one is methane, which stays in the atmosphere for 12 years, and it is 28 times more potent as GHG, greenhouse gas, than carbon dioxide. Methane emissions are caused by activities such as wastewater treatment, a massive increase of herbivores, fertilizers, biomass combustion, and fossil fuels operations.
And now can we please go on to question number 3? She's going to continue the same question.
Nitrous oxide, also known as laughing gas, is the third biggest global warming gas. It stays in the atmosphere for 114 years, and it is about 265 times more powerful than CO2 in trapping heat. The use of fertilizers containing nitrogen, fossil fuel, and biomass combustion, and industrial processes are the primary cause of the increasing nitrous oxide in the atmosphere. However, there are other greenhouse gases as stratospheric ozone, fluorinated gases, and CFCs. These are mainly anthropogenically in the atmosphere, while the others were naturally in the atmosphere but were highly increased by human activity.
Okay, now please can someone read the question number 4, scan the QR number 4.
Is the increase in the planet's temperature only due to the emission of these greenhouse gases?
Absolutely not. The increase in the planet's temperature is not only due to the emission of these gases. The destruction of vast area of forests throughout the world to obtain wood as raw material reduces the CO2 fixation and the capacity and causes concentration to increase. On a global scale, the terrestrial biosphere is considered to fix about 2 million tons per year.
Can you go with question number 5, please? Can someone scan the code?
What are the environmental consequences derived from the increasing the greenhouse effect in fertilizer.
Yes. Okay. The available evidence shows that global warming also manifests itself in the Canary Islands, disrupting the climatic conditions of the archipelago. On Fuerteventura Island, the tendency is rising temperatures, heat waves intensity and frequency increase, change of trade wind, drought increase, haze events intensity and frequency increase, irregular rains, and tropicalization of our seas. On the other hand, due to overheating, the sea level is rising as a consequence of the melting of the poles. In the case of Fuerteventura, this rise may mean the disappearance of beaches, unique ecosystems, such as the Jandía salt marsh, and also infrastructures and buildings near the coast, which may be affected also by storms.
So as you all have heard, Sarah has spoken about our island specifically and what would happen to our island. And now can please someone scan the QR code number 6, this is the last one, and our friend Elena is going to answer those questions.
Could you mention another consequence of the extra carbon dioxide gas in the atmosphere?
Okay, carbon dioxide is not the only affects the increase in the average temperature of the planet, but also acidifies the ocean. Sea acidification can affect organisms in two ways. Organisms need to spend more energy at a cellular level to create their own cells, and another effect on ocean acidification is that it can affect plankton and other marine species that depend on it for having food.
Okay, and last question, number 7, please. Can someone scan that?
Is there anything we can do to mitigate the climate change?
We can help to stop climate change by making small changes in our daily life. For example, we can reduce our consumption of desalinated seawater. We can also make our houses more renewable by installing solar panels. We can also move on foot by public transport and not to use our own cars. And install buy local products to avoid transport pollution, as the same as install a water filter to avoid the same transport pollution. And finally, we can consume food from traditional and non-traditional crops.
Thank you so much for paying attention to our presentation. We really hope you liked it.
You will convert electric cars or your petrol cars and install photovoltaic solar panels in the charging areas.
4. You will install photovoltaic panels in marina and on boat. 5. You will present and simulate the production of biomass capable of capturing and storing CO2 gas.
6. You will promote natural gas biomass energy.
7. Will involve phase energy to reduce greenhouse gases.
8. You will use raw materials such as wood, manure to contribute to the protection of the planet.
Yeah, the third team to work on the project. So we didn't really have time to finish, but we had the comics and everything, but we lost the baggage in Paris. So we are going to present the drafts that we have.
Okay.
Sorry.
Don't worry. Be happy.